Welcome back to the video. In today's video, we have AEW All In 2024 results. Great show, really enjoyed it. Again, another great crowd atmosphere from Wembley in London. So yeah, really enjoyed it. How'd you feel?
Yeah, altogether it was a pretty good show. Some interesting booking decisions as far as who won the matches. But as far as, the matches were themselves, they were really good though.
Yeah, we're going to kind of get into things. We're starting on the pre-show. Kind of skim over this real quick. But Tommy Billington, Kip Sabian, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher, Leo Rush, Action Andretti, and Top Flight did win a 16-man tag match. We also had Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii win the mixed tag match. So now Willow gets to pick the stipulation at All Out against Chris Statlander. So hopefully she picks a good stipulation for that match. I am excited for that. Then we also had the Von Erichs, Sammy Guevara, Shibata, and Dustin Rhodes win a 10-man tag match against Undisputed Kingdom in Cage of Agony. Now, after this, we did have a segment where Saraya comes out with her family, and she said she's mad that she wasn't on the card this year. And after she comes out, none other than Jamie Hayter comes out and ruins her moment. And yeah, Jamie Hayter does return on the pre-show, which was a bit weird. But yeah, how'd you feel?
Yeah, I'm kind of new to Jamie Hayter. Ever since I started watching AEW, she hasn't really been there. So I'm excited to see what, I guess, the hype is about with her. Why everyone says she's so good and whatnot. She came out looking, I don't know if it's just me because I'm new to her, but she did look a lot different than what I've seen, like pictures of her and whatnot. I remember her with like blonde and black hair and with the world title and whatnot. But that's like kind of the image I have in my mind of her. So when she came out, I was like, oh, this is different. But yeah, excited to see what she does moving forward.
Yeah, it seems like she's going to be feuding with Saraya for now, but hopefully we kind of get over that feud somewhat quick. But next up, we had the start of the show, and we start off with the four-way ladder match, where Pac and Blackpool Combat Club do come out on top. They put together a team. Kind of seems like Pac is going to be a new member of Bullet Club. So yeah, how'd you feel?
Yeah, as you said, Pac being with the Blackpool Combat Club, I mean, he is like a really good fit within them. Obviously, he's just a very good wrestler. He kind of fits in that category with Claudio and Daniel Bryan and Wheeler Yuta and everyone. So yeah, he's a really good fit there. Obviously, his old trio, the Lucha Bros, they're in discussions of potentially moving to WWE, so we'll see kind of what comes with that. But if they do go to WWE, this is a great fit for him. Could definitely see a turn happening at one point when he does eventually try to go after Daniel Bryan, maybe for a world title, and maybe that's how he retires versus Pac as he turns his back on him or whatever. But yeah, a lot of interesting things you could do with him being in the team, and the match itself tonight was great.
Yeah, really enjoyed this match. We did see some kind of turmoil between the patriarchy, where Christian Cage wanted to get the belts himself, but Killswitch has already pretty much could have the match won, but Christian said, no, I want to get the win. He goes up, and then eventually Pac puts them off and pretty much gets them out of the match, and that's kind of how they win. So yeah, pretty kind of seems like we're getting some turmoil between the patriarchy. But next up, we have the AEW Women's World Champion, where Mariah May comes out on top and beats Timeless Toni Storm. How'd you feel?
Yeah, so leading up into this match, I wasn't like fully bought into the pay-per-view just yet, but this is the match that kind of got me super interested, and I was super focused on the match and whatnot. But yeah, really great match. This is one of the matches where I think the right person did win, and Mariah May. She does obviously been great with everything that she's done, and even in her post-match interview after Wembley was over and they did their all-in just discussions after. She did a really great eulogy of Toni Storm's career, and yeah, it was just really good. Love Mariah May. They got some more in plan for Toni Storm, and it's not just kind of done with her for a while, and hopefully she's not gone or something for a while. But yeah, hopefully we still see her on TV going forward.
Yeah, Mariah May did a fantastic job. Apparently this entire storyline was pitched before she even signed with AEW, and apparently as soon as she got there, she kind of just did things, and then she's done everything so well since her debut in AEW. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, real star-making performance here from her. Love this match. One of my favorite matches of the night, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, and excited to see where Mina Shirakawa is going to kind of fit into this storyline now that this is kind of over.
Yeah. But next up, it was followed up by the FTW Championship match, where Hook does get the win over Chris Jericho. Is a 3-time FTW champion now, I believe.
Yeah, this is the match that I didn't quite see a lot of this. I was kind of a little bit busy during this section of the match, but I did see about maybe half of it or so. But yeah, from what I've seen, it was pretty decent. The right person won once again. Definitely didn't want Chris Jericho winning here, even though his entrance was pretty cool, I will say. But yeah, love Chris Jericho's entrance. Didn't really get to see the match, so yeah, kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, it was a whatever match, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't care for it too much. Like you said, glad Hook won. It was the right winner, in my opinion. And yeah, just another Chris Jericho match in 2024, really. But next up, we had the World Tag Team Champions on the line, where the Young Bucks defeated FTR and The Acclaim to retain their champions. And how do you feel about this match?
Yeah, at this point, this was probably my favorite match of the night, even more so than the Mariah May Tony Storm match, surprisingly. But I really did like it. Didn't really care for the ending of this one too much. But the Young Bucks do get the win, and it kind of did make sense. Yeah, at this point in the card.
Yeah, this match was pretty solid. I think it could have been better. I don't know. I wish we kind of had a different match plan for the tag team champions for Wembley, because it kind of feels like, kind of seeing the same 3 tag teams kind of revolve around the title picture. Hopefully, at the end of the match, we did see Grizzled Young Vets finally show their face again in AEW, so it kind of seems like they have their eyes set.
Yeah, Cash Wheeler as well. Kind of leave him hanging. Yeah, it was a really good match, though. I love the part where I believe it was Max Caster, where he does the Shatter Machine with Cash Wheeler, and then he does the EVP trigger with, I believe it was Nick Jackson.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool little segment there. Yeah.
Yeah, but next up we had the Casino Gauntlet match. Now this match we had a lot of hype for because of the potential surprises we had. But yeah, we start off the match with Orange Cassidy. I believe it was Okada who came out second. And then after that, we had the return and first time showing of Nigel McGuinness in AEW. Yeah, he was there and looked absolutely really great.
Yeah, I was happy to see him there. I definitely, because like I said, I'm kind of new to a lot of the people. I've only seen their AEW work, and as for Nigel, he's obviously a commentator, so I didn't see any work. I've seen clips of his Daniel Bryan match from way back and whatnot, but that's about it. But seeing him come out, it was really cool, surprising, because there was a lot of people who's kind of speculated about coming to this match. People were talking about Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, MVP, Dijak even. There's a ton of people who were kind of speculated to be in this match, so when he came out, that was a big surprise.
Yeah, and after that, it was followed by Kyle O'Reilly. Then we had Zack Sabre Jr. come out, who was a really cool moment between Nigel and Zack Sabre Jr. Pretty much, the guy who ran the early 2000s for British wrestling, and Nigel, and then the guy who's kind of doing it right now, which is Zack Sabre Jr. So kind of a cool little, time frame type of thing. We also had Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe. We seen Hangman and Page enter this match. Jeff Jarrett got involved, but probably the biggest talking point is Ricochet. He makes his AEW debut, obviously keeping the name Ricochet. But yeah, a really cool moment to see him. He looked absolutely great in this match. What do you think about that, though?
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a star. And yeah, he definitely showed off during this match, just giving AEW just a sneak peek of obviously what he can do in the ring. Yeah, very excited to see what they do with him moving forward. Really wish he would have won the match. I guess we'll kind of get into that in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, like you said, now we did have Christian Cage join this match, and he was pretty much had this match won, but like I mentioned, they had some turmoil going on early in the night, and Killswitch comes out, and he comes in, and he looks at Christian, he's kind of about to choke slam him, but then he grabs Kyle O'Reilly, choke slams him, and lets Christian get the win. Now, this is something that I really didn't like for how good this match was and was turning out to be. Really wanted either Hangman, obviously, because the storyline with Swerve. Something like Nigel could have been cool, because if Bryan Danielson does win, you have something there already. Or Zack Sabre Jr., who's on fire right now, just winning the G1. But yeah, we had Christian win. Bit deflating and kind of ruined the mood, but it was still a great match nonetheless.
Yeah, it was an amazing match, but yeah, that was just a very abrupt one. You definitely didn't expect it to happen. You expected someone to break up the pin or he kicks out, but he didn't. He got the pin and he won. Killswitch puts Christian on his shoulders as he's kind of holding the contract, saying that he's gonna get a world title match. potentially at All Out. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of moving pieces with this one. Definitely didn't like that Christian Cage won.
Yeah.
Literally anyone else in this match could have won, and I think it would have been great. Like if Nigel won and had like a stare off with Bryan Danielson at the end of the show. If Okada won and kind of did something.
Loaded over Hangman even.
Yeah. Even Hangman went in himself.
Yeah.
Ricochet. Even Killswitch, if he would have did the turn tonight and, got the pin on Christian, that would have been really cool. That's kind of what I was expecting to happen whenever he started running to the ring. Like he was kind of aggressively running to the ring, even though Christian already had the match won, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to me. But yeah.
Yeah, it was followed up by the AEW American Championship match where Will Ospreay took on MJF, but Will Ospreay gets the job done in Wembley again and is your new AEW International Champion for the second time.
Yeah, amazing match. Obviously, you expect nothing less between Will Ospreay and MJF. Doesn't really compare to that hour-long match. I think I'll probably prefer that match over this one. This one was a little bit more slower paced in the beginning, and then it kind of built up over time. Most of Ospreay matches, at least from what I've seen, are kind of always fast-paced. So this was a little bit different of a pace from him, at least from what I've seen, like I said. But still an amazing match. Very happy Will Ospreay won. I don't know if I would have, said he would have won. I believe I predicted MJF to win this one. But I also predicted Will Ospreay to get his win back at All Out. But yeah, still a really cool moment, really good match, and yeah.
Yeah, and the way Will Ospreay did win was pretty cool because MJF is pretty much about to get this match won, but a cameraman kind of starts pulling on him, kind of bringing him towards the rope, and it's none other to be revealed as Daniel Garcia. He makes his return, costs MJF this match because after Will Ospreay hits a hidden blade, then hits the Tiger Driver finally, and gets the job done. Then after Christopher Daniels takes away the American Championship, kind of throws it off to the side, and gives him the nice-looking International Champion. So yeah, Daniel Garcia is back, it looks like. It kind of looks like he's kind of resigned, and there's some, rumors about him going somewhere else. But yeah, really cool to see him back. It kind of seems like we're going to get Daniel Garcia vs. MJF at All Out, and maybe Will Ospreay goes against Pac at All Out, but this is what we know so far. But yeah, really enjoyed this match. Next up, we had the TBS champion on the line where Mercedes Moné did defeat Britt Baker. How do you feel about this match?
Yeah, this was an amazing match. Yeah, Britt Baker really impressed me. She kept up with Mercedes, and Mercedes kept up with Britt. It was like they were a really good combination in the ring together. I feel like they did really well. Would definitely love to see a run back of this potentially at All Out. I don't think they'll really do that because I believe they'll want to kind of move Mercedes to another opponent, but I would love to see a rematch.
Yeah, this match wasn't my favorite by any means. I think it kind of fell flat for me. I kind of expected a bit more. I feel like Mercedes did pretty good on her part. Maybe I think Britt maybe could have did a bit better, but nonetheless, still a solid match. I'm not discrediting her by any means. But yeah, solid match. Like I said, Mercedes does get the win here. Maybe we see her and Jamie Hayter at All Out. I don't think it would possibly be that because, like you said earlier, I do think Jamie Hayter's going to have something with Saraya going on for now. But yeah, definitely to see who the next opponent is for Mercedes. But after that, we were followed by the TNT Championship, which was in a coffin match where Jack Perry does retain over Darby Allin.
Yeah, and this was probably my least favorite match of the night. And that's not because the match was bad. It was like they had like really cool moments. All the coffin drops and at the beginning of the match, Darby has a drop kick to Jack Perry while he's on a chair. Darby gets thrown off the stage through a table. He gets his hands duct taped. He gets his feet tied with a belt.
His own belt.
Yeah, his own belt. There were some pretty cool moments, but just the way it ended, just the way Jack Perry won, I don't think I would have had him beat Darby in his own kind of stipulation match. And then Darby kind of got beat majority of the match. Like, he didn't look very strong at all in this one. He just looked like he had a lot of pain tolerance, I guess. Like, he kept kicking out of moves and whatever, you know what I mean? Just like not able to get him in the coffin. But yeah, I just didn't really care for this match. Didn't really like the booking in it, I guess you could say. But the spots were cool, I guess, and yeah.
Yeah, I honestly really enjoyed this match. Darby, like you say, came in really intense, and early on did get a lot of offense in, but Jack Perry, towards the end, after he got the duct tape involved and tied his hands up, then he tied his legs up, so it kind of was a pretty much useless Darby Allin just taking hits. He ends up zipping him up in a body bag, puts him in the casket, and that's how he wins. Pretty, like you said, confident win, and kind of big win over for Jack Perry. Kind of cleanly beats Darby, which I think that was kind of the goal here, was to make Jack Perry look kind of badass, I guess, or more dominant. I don't know how much people will take that in after, you know, this match, but that's kind of how I think they were trying to go for. Still was a good match, but another big talking point was what happened after the match, because the Young Bucks are bringing out a gas can and they're about to light the bag on fire, or the casket on fire, but none other than Sting comes out in Wembley, Seek and Destroy plays, and he goes off on the Young Bucks, hitting them with a stinger, or I forget what he calls the move, but the DDT drop he does. But yeah, really cool to see Sting back, and he lets Jack Perry out of the casket.
Yeah, it's a really cool moment where the lights cut off, and then he's just kind of walking down the stage slowly to come make the save. The look on Jack Perry's face, he kind of leaves the Bucks in the ring and doesn't really defend them in a way, so I'm kind of curious if that'll kind of play into a storyline between the Bucks and Jack Perry, since he kind of abandoned them in the match, but maybe they did that on purpose to protect them or something like that. But yeah, really cool. That was probably better than the match itself, the ending, in my opinion. But yeah,
to me this doesn't feel over just yet either. It feels like they will run it back out all out, hopefully in another stipulation. I don't know how much crazy you can get after a coffin match, but we'll have to watch some Dynamite this next week's. But in the main event, title versus career, Bryan Danielson goes against Swerve. And how'd you feel about this match?
Yeah, you know, the match sucked. It was really... No, I'm kidding. No, this was the best match of the night. Bryan Danielson, I mean, he never...
does not deliver.
Yeah, he never doesn't deliver in a match. And honestly, same with Swerve Strickland at this point. He's really, over the past maybe year, he's really grown on, I think, everybody in kind of just the wrestling community, period. And yeah, he's one of the best for a reason. He's the world champion for the reason, or was the world champion for a reason. But yeah, Bryan Danielson gets the win. Really cool moment where he hits the knee on Swerve, and he kind of no-sells it. And he kind of brushes it off, and it kind of shows Bryan Danielson, hey, it's not over yet. But then he does it again, and that's kind of what led to the end of him after he hit it the second time and it dropped him.
Yeah, what my absolute favorite moment in this match, without a doubt, is Swerve Punch has this match won and is kind of still wanting to beat down Danielson, and Danielson's kind of crawling over to his family, and he kind of gets on his knees and is kind of just reaching out for him, just looking at him and saying, I love you, I'm sorry, and Swerve just keeps hitting him with kicks to the chest, keeps on kicking him, and Danielson just powers through, focuses on his family, just keeps saying I love you, and kind of helps him through that moment of getting the momentum back, and pretty much wins the match off of that. But yeah, really cool moment for Danielson to get another huge moment in a big stadium at Wembley. Obviously, I know people are going to make the comparison between this and WrestleMania 30, but no matter what you say, both moments are absolutely phenomenal and great. And as a big Bryan Danielson fan, this made me really happy because, you know, you're going to see more Bryan Danielson down the line. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I was kind of convinced that he was going to lose as he was like kind of making his entrance. I just kind of had that feeling that he was going to lose, but obviously that didn't end up happening. I am happy to see that. But also just want to give a lot more love to Swerve too, because he did amazing. He kept up with Bryan Danielson at every point. There was no point where he looked weak or anything. Like, no, he was on the level of Bryan Danielson. So yeah, I'm very excited to see Swerve moving forward, because he's going to be the new Seattle guy.
Yeah, and it also is worth mentioning that Hangman Adam Page did try to get involved in this match, but security was on point this week, and they got him away and made sure he didn't interfere in this match. But yeah, obviously Bryan Danielson, glad to have him as champion, but like you said, I do want to give Swerve his credit, because as far as I've been watching, he is probably one of my top two, maybe my number one favorite champion since I've been watching. He's been absolutely phenomenal. All the feuds have been great. Matches have been just as good. So yeah, Swerve Strickland, one of the best AEW champions ever. And yeah, definitely unfortunately he lost, but obviously happy for Danielson getting the big win.
There'll be lots more champions for Swerve Strickland.
For sure. But yeah, that will do it for AEW All In. Now, next week we do have Bash in Berlin, and we also have No Mercy. So if you want to see predictions for No Mercy, make sure to let us know in the comments below. But after that, the week after, we do have AEW All Out, which will do more predictions and results for that as well. So make sure to be subscribing to the channel. So yeah, so you can catch those videos. But without further ado, that will be the end of the video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.